I have to make a confession. Remember when I told you how great it is to be a digital nomad? Well, that was only half of the truth. And here's the other one. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Laura. I'm a finance coach and entrepreneur based in Bali, and on this channel we explore the tools and strategies that help us to level up and live happier and richer lives. Today we will talk about all the things I wish someone had told me before becoming a digital nomad. While I really enjoyed being a digital nomad for the last 1.5 years, our time of being digital nomads is slowly coming to an end. If you would want to know why, please put it in the comments down below and I will make a separate video on that. But before I jump into it, please make sure to hit the like button if you enjoy these types of videos so I know, and also hit the subscribe button if you haven't done yet. I've been a digital nomad during the whole pandemic. Even though we only stayed in Bali, we've been moving around a lot here. And I filmed a lot of videos about that. I filmed some guides. I will link the playlist for you here so you can go and check it out if you're interested in living as a digital nomad in Bali. In one of my latest videos, I talked about all the perks and benefits of living here in Bali and being a digital nomad here in Bali. But in this video, I want to share some of the downsides or things that you might not have in mind when you think about being a digital nomad. And don't get me wrong, I've been enjoying this lifestyle a lot, but there are some things I really do miss. So let's jump straight into it, shall we? Number one, you don't have a home. Well, this is kind of obvious, but I'm not sure if you really get the impact that has on you. I always thought traveling around and being in a different place every week, switching hotel rooms or like apartments a lot, it wouldn't bother me at all. But after a while, you really get a bit tired and exhausted of packing up your things over and over again, even though you don't have that many things. But still, if you live for a couple of months, for example, in a place, you will accumulate stuff. And you're basically living out of a backpack or a suitcase, especially if you travel around a lot. You might not even unpack your things, and this can be, at some point, really exhausting. The interesting thing is also that when you don't have a home that you know it's your home, your place where your things are, you cannot easily unwind like you would in your home, because all the time it's somebody else's place. You didn't furnish it, you didn't decorate it, it's not perfect for you, and after a while this might have an impact on you. It's obviously very personal. That's how I felt. I know people that have been traveling around for over 5 years and changing places over and over and just releasing their leases for like every month, and they don't have an issue with it. But I actually realized that I just really would like to have a home where all my things are, where I can unwind, where I can relax, where I designed the place how I want it to be. And even if you still decide to travel around, I think it's just nice to have a home base somewhere. Number two, friendships. Depending on how often you travel around and move places, it will be really hard to make deep, meaningful connections. Usually it's quite easy to get to know people, because if you're in a community or you like meet other digital nomads in cafes or co-working spaces, or even at the place you're staying, it will be easy to get to know people, but building deep, meaningful connections is something different. So that's why it's nice to stay actually a little bit longer in one place. For example, like we did in Bali. I mean, we didn't have chances to travel around outside Indonesia that much because of the pandemic. But it was actually really nice because we made some really deep and meaningful connections. We made a lot of friends that I know even though when we move, we will still have like these connections. And if you leave your hometown, you might actually also lose a lot of friendships that you had there. Usually you just drift apart, and since you're not there anymore, you won't be able to do things with them. And if it's like actual, real, meaningful friendships, once you're there, it's gonna be amazing, and it doesn't really matter how long you're gone. But if it's not, you might just lose them. Number 3, self-discipline. You need a lot of self-discipline. You will need to set up work hours and free time hours, and you might ending up having a lot of FOMO. Because when you're traveling and when you're in a place, you want to go out, you want to explore, you want to do sightseeing, you want to do cool things that you can just do in that place. It's kind of like being on holidays while you work. And while this is really nice, it's also sometimes really challenging. And it's kind of handy to stay a little bit longer in places, because then all this novelty and FOMO will kind of wear off, and you don't have to go to that fancy cafe or to every fancy cafe you can see in a city, because in the end, fancy cafes are just cafes. And you will need to get your work done anyways. So in the beginning, in Bali here, I actually really struggled because I wanted to go to all the fancy cafes, I wanted to go to workout classes, I wanted to do beach walks, I wanted to do all the things. And then at the end of the day, I didn't work, or at least not much. Then I signed up for a co-working space, which actually helped me to set more boundaries and sit down and get my work done and still enjoy like fun things. You will need to find your own workflow, and you will need to have the self-discipline to keep it going. Number 4, life can be so easy. When you're traveling around and living as a digital nomad, usually you don't have to clean, you don't have to get a car, you don't have to pay for maintenance, you don't have to pay for internet, you don't have to get furniture, you also don't have to buy kitchenware. You usually just move from furnished apartment to furnished apartment, or from hotel room to hotel room, or from hostel to hostel, and you don't have to worry about any of these things. And we will be moving and getting a home soon, so we will have to do all the things, and it was really refreshing to not have to worry about any of these things the last 1.5 years. And when you don't have to clean, when you don't have to even do your laundry, you just have a lot of more free time that you can use to work, to enjoy your free time, to just do more things that make you happy. And that's pretty cool. Number 5, you might want to consider to stay longer in places. I know when you set out on a journey to becoming a digital nomad, you might want to do 10 countries in that amount of weeks and travel from that place to that place to that place, but it's gonna be really exhausting, and most of us still need to work, right? First of all, you're gonna get a lot of FOMO, because if you're staying for a really short time in a place, you will want to explore all the things, and you obviously still have to work, so it will be very hard. And then it's a lot of effort to look for accommodations again, figure out your new routines in that accommodation, look what's closed, like where's the next supermarket, where is the co-working space, where are the cafes, where do you go to the gym, like all these kind of things. And you have to do that over and over and over again. And the shorter you stay at a place, the more effort you will have. And then you also have the FOMO, and you also need to work. So you might want to consider not stressing yourself out too much, and just take it easy, stay a bit longer, enjoy the time, work, time to have your routine, have your productivity going. Then you also might not want to eat out all the time because you're there for longer. You can also cook for yourself. It's gonna be a lot more efficient for your productivity and also for your budget. And obviously you will have less FOMO, because when you're there longer, you have more time to experience all the things. These are the 5 things I wish I had known before becoming a digital nomad. We kind of figured it out along the way, and that was totally fine. But if you're about to set out on a journey to become a digital nomad, this might be helpful for you. If you like this video, please make sure to hit the like button, and if you haven't yet and you like these types of videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any other content I'm gonna post in the next weeks and months. And if you did, and if you also pressed the bell, well, I guess I will see you in the next video. Bye!